everyone, and welcome back to the series From Ashes to a New Beginning, written by yours truly, Stacey Holt. Artwork was by Pastelkittygoreart on Instagram, otherwise known as Maddie Kitty 1997 on DeviantArt. I'll leave her links below. I highly recommend you go check out her artwork. I'll also leave everyone that is collaborating within this chapter, which are Darkstorm009 will be voicing Adrien and Cat Noir. I will be voicing Marinette, Ladybug, and the narrator. Mackenzie Zollner will be voicing Rose. Tria May will be voicing Julika. And TitaniumKitten will be voicing Plague and Luka. Anyways, back to From Ashes to a New Beginning. Chapter 29. Now, Chapter 30. Rising Jealousy. Luka walked inside and shut the door, a light blush spreading across his cheeks. Marinette's eyes widened. This was Luka? He looked a lot older and a lot more mature than she last saw him. It's been a year or so since she last spoke to him. And she had to admit, he did a lot of growing up, at least physically. She knew he was already mature mentally, but now, his body caught up with his mind and attitude. Politely she smiled at him, but felt a faint touch on her hands to pull her thoughts away from Luka. She turned her gaze to who touched her hands and saw Adrien's worried eyes. He was not only worried, but anxious. Was he worried about Luka and her? Was he scared? Why?
It's been forever since we've seen each other, Marinette. How have you been? How are you settling in at Adrien since the fire?
Luka asked, walking closer, seeing Adrien and Marinette sitting on the couch. Luka noticed how Adrien was acting every time he would get closer to Marinette. Adrien felt threatened by him. That was a first. Well... Marinette began, not sure if she should say they were dating or not. The lie was getting out of hand. She just told Alia that her and Cat Noir broke up a few days ago. It would be strange to say that her and Adrien are together now. Though Adrien's jealousy with Luka would be hard to ignore. Also, Rose and Julika knew they were dating as well. So, the cat was pretty much out of the bag. Marinette turned to Adrien, whose face wore a look that she couldn't help but know what he was thinking. She felt him grip her hand tighter, almost urging her to tell him. She turned back to Luka with an awkward smile, unsure exactly what to do. I'm settling in well, actually. Adrien and I have grown quite close. She smiled, hoping that would suffice, but from the look out of her peripherals, he was more disappointed than anything.
Grown close, huh?
Luka smiled, sitting down beside Marinette, a little too close to Adrien's liking. Adrien grit his teeth, and while his hand was still caressing hers ever so casually on the couch, he clenched it slightly to get her attention, causing Marinette to turn her head toward him.
We're actually dating.
Adrien spoke up. Adrien's mind was more fixated on Luka's expression, but it didn't budge. He either wasn't surprised, or he was a really good actor. Either way, it ate at him. He was sure that at the restaurant he brought up Kagami for a reason. Being around Luka just got under his skin. Was it because Luka was Marinette's ex? Marinette also didn't take him talking to Kagami well. Now, he understood how she felt. He didn't like her talking to Luka, but he wasn't going to control her like his father did him. He trusted her, even though it did bug him.
Oh, you're dating? Were you keeping it a secret?
Luka laughed, sitting back a little from Marinette to provide space. Well, my previous boyfriend and I broke up a few days ago. It was rather sudden and...
You didn't want to rush into anything you might regret?
What's that supposed to mean?
Adrien interjected, a little glare peeking around her shoulder at Luka.
Nothing ill toward you, Adrien. You just don't want to take advantage of someone when they just broke up with or gotten broken up with their significant other is all.
He smiled, though a little smirk was faintly seen. Adrien bit his tongue. He knew there was some tension between them. Luka didn't like Adrien. He probably resented him for his and Marinette's breakup. Marinette could feel the tension as well. She wondered if there was anything in particular she was missing. Did she cause them to fight? Was she the reason for them not being friends? Did something happen at the restaurant that she was unaware of?
I'm not.
He said back. He's not, Marinette spoke up.
Here's the tea.
Rose smiled, bringing out the refreshments along with Julika.
Thanks, Rose. Do you care if I invite someone over, Jules?
Luka asked, taking a glass.
Yeah, sure. It doesn't matter to me. What about you guys?
She mumbled.
Sure.
Rose smiled, sitting down beside Adrien, as Julika sat down on the other side of her. Sure, we don't mind. Marinette spoke up, though she already knew Adrien was wanting to know who it was. Marinette leaned her head back to him and smiled, reassuring him it was alright, though he had his doubts and so far every encounter with Luka wasn't the best. About an hour later, there was a knock at the door. Luka stood up and walked over to the door, as everyone's attention drew to the guest. Luka didn't give any details as to who it was, just that it was an old friend of everyone's as well as his, which increased the curiousness that much more. Luka opened the door, and there stood Kagami. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, you can go check out some of my other videos, like Thunderstorms, which is Season 1, Downpour, which is Season 2 of Thunderstorms, The Butterfly That Brought Us Together, and so on. But for now, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys!